Hey y'all, getting ready for a trip. Y'all just have to not mind the nasty garage. I'm trying to get everything ready in the rain. We're heading out for a trip in a tropical storm, so it's going to be a wet trip, which kind of leads to a little bit of what I'm going to talk about on this video is trip preparation. You know, and trip preparation is something that I, as an old Boy Scout, you know, I tend to overthink, and I tend to over prepare. But I'd a whole lot rather be over prepared than get out, you know, a long way away from the truck and be under prepared. This trip is going to be 50 miles and unsupported, so we're having to launch and take out with a shuttle service. So everything we have to carry with us, and we're going to be self-sustaining. Now, of course, like for me, that means, you know, carry a small hatchet and a saw, and I mean just things that you never know what may happen. If there's a tree across the river, you know, we want to be able to get through it. So like I said, I tend to go overboard on my preparation, which means that I have to paddle all the junk around. But in this case, I was hoping to try to pare down as much as possible. Of course, you see 4 fishing rods over here. That's probably the most important part of. Now, actually, the most important part of the thing is probably the thing you hope you don't have to use, and that's a good first aid kit. If I have to make a decent recommendation, is to stock a good first aid kit. This has something for allergies. It's got something for itches. It's got something for stings. I've actually got a blood stopper, which I thought was a neat product that I saw not too long ago. And I mean, Lord knows you hope that you don't have to have anything like that. But it's got that. It's got witch hazel wipes, which for those of you that get later on in life and have, I guess, hemorrhoidal issues, these things are wonderful. Thankfully, I don't have that problem, but a witch hazel wipe will help clean up areas that need to be cleaned up. And it's a self-packaged pack, so it's a pretty good thing to have with you. But these are 2 things that all this is my first aid kit, and it's got a set of wire cutters. I've got a video on what all went in this kit back on my channel, but it's got a lot of stuff in there that'll hopefully get you out of a bind, you know, temporarily anyway, till you get somebody some help. Now, cook-wise, we're trying to be as I guess light and travel as light as possible. So I'm taking my Kelly kettle. This will be the first time that I've actually put it to use other than around the house. My little titanium cookware goes right down in the middle of it. I'll do a video on this later on because I've been really impressed with it. But this will boil my water and have a surface for cooking on. Now, one thing about the cooking and the food that you got to think about, and that was what part of the prep video I wanted to show. Is, now y'all know that I work with Orion. This is a big old Yeti. I don't care what cooler you deal with, whatever company that you buy. It doesn't matter to me whether it's high dollar or whether it's cheap. If you don't do your prep, then none of them are going to do what you need to. Now this has got to last me, you know, 3 days on the river. And the main thing is always ahead of the time to go ahead and prep. Now I got a bag of ice in here. And this is basically a sacrificial bag of ice. I mean, this bag of ice is meant for nothing more than pre-cooling this cooler down. And it's just because a lot of people end up putting ice in there on the way to the water. Then they throw in hot drinks, you know, or room temperature drinks, everything else there. Well, that ice loses all of its energy trying to cool that stuff down. Then a day in and you've lost all your ice and you don't have any coolness in your cooler. So if you prep your cooler ahead of time, make sure you cool it down ahead of time. Cool all your stuff that needs to stay cool in the fridge or in the freezer. These are my meals. Now my meals are double wrapped in foil, and this is steak, taters, and collard greens. Hopefully you'll get to see that when I do them on the Kelly kettle later on. But this is pre-measured for what I've been eating on an eating plan, trying to lose weight. But this is pre-measured, it's pre-seasoned. All I have to do is thaw, heat on the grill, and it's good to go. I don't have to carry salt. I don't have to carry pepper. Nothing. It's all there. It's already pre-seasoned. They're wrapped. I'm going to put them in a Ziploc bag, keep them all together. This is already frozen, so it's going to help keep the cooler cool. The other thing is my water, which this is my ice that's going to go back in the bag whenever it's time. But these are all frozen solid. So as they thaw, I've got drinking water if I need it. Now on this trip, I'm going to be hopefully making my own drinking water. I bought a little filter system. You'll see that video later on as well. But so I'll be using the filter system to fill up the Kelly kettle for doing coffee and stuff like that. The one other tip that I have is to get things out of boxes. Boxes are very difficult to stack, and you know, bags go in things a whole lot better, and like even bottles and things like that. So these are my supplements and vitamins and everything that I needed. All that goes into a bag. This is my protein drinks. I've got Pedialyte powders. So I've been out paddling before when, you know, cramped up so bad you just couldn't hardly move just due to the sun. We're not going to have to worry about high temperatures on this trip, but 50 miles in a kayak, there's probably going to be some discomfort, and just in case somebody gets janked up with the cramps, I've got Pedialyte powders ready to go. But like I said, all that stuff came out of these boxes. This is protein bars, just in case you need something to snack on. But all of it came out of these boxes. Snack sticks, coffee singles. That's one thing. Y'all know that I enjoy using my little Melita coffee filter a whole lot. But that I said, well, I'd have to haul coffee filters, the Melita itself, and so I found the little singles that have a pretty good flavor to them. I've been pleased with these, so I sacrificed my really good coffee on this trip for savings from weight and space. So, but all of this stuff packs into waterproof bags a whole lot better than trying to shove boxes and things like that to get them to fit. The only other thing, spare batteries, you know, is another good. I've got spare batteries. I got a patch kit for my little tiny Climate air mattress. And just to make sure that I've got, you know, essentials in here. I've got my lights, which I always carry a spare. I usually run a headlamp most of the time. This is a pretty good little old light because it does a spot out of the front, and then also it'll raise up and do a little area light for in the camp. It's pretty handy, so I try to keep that. Try to keep a spare light and spare batteries for the trip. For the most part, you know, this is going to be, like I said, a self-sustaining trip. Now, I've got enough guys going that should something happen, somebody's probably got it handled, but you hope that nothing happens, and you hope that you don't need anything, and of course, I'm taking too much stuff. The last tip I have is every bit of this that gets packed in will get packed out. Please, if you do overnight trips, man, don't junk the place up. I mean, to me, this is a precious creation. We are blessed to go take a part of it. I do not want to leave my junk for you who may come behind me to see. Hopefully you get to see a trip report, you know, if there's enough clear sky to film it. But I'm really looking forward to this trip, looking forward to going with the guys we're going with. I've been needing something like this for a while. I just wanted to share with you some of the trip prep that I've done, trying to pare down. Now, you don't even want to see what I had to take out of my fishing gear to try to get down to what I need, but I've got my favorites, I've got my bare minimums, and I'm hoping it's going to be a good trip. Y'all take care. I hope this helped a little bit.